Curious George Makes Pancakes by Margaret and H.A. Ray. Boy, you know it's going to be a good book when you see Curious George there with his pancakes and a smiley face made out of blueberries and little birdie on the syrup. This is George. George was a good little monkey and always very curious. One morning, the man with the yellow hat woke George early. "Time to get up, George," he said. "The pancake breakfast is today." George loved the pancake breakfast. It was a fundraiser held every year to make money for special programs at the Children's Hospital. Besides eating pancakes, there were all kind of games to play. Even the mayor came to play and eat, but first he gave a welcome speech. Look at all the people. Curious George there with the man with the yellow hat. So the mayor started giving his speech. He said, "Thank you all for coming. We appreciate your generous support." The mayor thanked all the volunteers who were helping that day. And finally he said, "Please enjoy yourselves and the pancakes." When the mayor finished, the man with the yellow hat said, "George, I'm going to buy our tickets. Please wait here and don't be too curious." George waited like a good little monkey. But something smelled good. George was smelling something and he said, "Could it be the pancakes?" George was curious. So George set out to find that smell, and he followed that delicious smell and found a whole griddle full of pancakes. George watched as a man poured little batter circles and flipped them up in the air. It looked like fun to make pancakes. George wanted to help. On a table near the griddle was a basket full of blueberries. These pancakes need blueberries, George thought, and so he sprinkled some on top. Meanwhile, the man at the griddle was so busy making pancakes that he didn't notice that the little monkey was helping him. But the line grew and grew. George's pancakes were a hit. Soon everybody wanted them, and the man behind the griddle could not keep up. "Please wait," the man said to someone holding an empty plate. "I need to find an assistant to help me." And just like that, the man making pancakes was gone. George adding his little blueberries. And he made a little happy smiley face. Maybe that's why everybody liked him. George looked at the people waiting in line and then at the empty griddle, and he said, "Well, I can make pancakes. I could be the assistant." So George poured the batter into nice round circles. Next, he added blueberries, and then he waited just a minute to let the pancakes cook, and then he flipped them over, and then at last he added the syrup on top. The line for pancakes was enormous, but with 4 hands, he uses his hands and his feet, George made quite a chef, and no one's plate was empty for very long. "I've been coming to this breakfast for years," one of the men said, "but I've never seen pancakes made like this before." "I've never eaten this many pancakes before," said a girl. "I didn't even like pancakes before," said another girl, and they all lined up for more pancakes. Boy, George was doing a great job. But then, when the man that was at the griddle returned with his new assistant, he was shocked to see a monkey making pancakes. "This is no place for a monkey," he yelled, and then he began to chase George. Oh no. George hadn't meant to cause trouble. He only wanted to help. Now he only wanted to get away. So quickly, George had to find a place to hide, and the man and his assistant ran right by. But where did George go? Where is George? Is he right there. What a good hiding place. So after they passed by and it was safe to come out, George jumped down, but he was covered in syrup like a pancake, and he was sticking to everything. Goodness, stuff sticking to his feet. George was curious. Could these napkins help him get clean? But as he tried to use the napkins, it looks like more and more started sticking to him. So that wasn't working. Poor George. Nope, the napkins only made it worse. What George needed was some water to wash with. Why, there was the perfect thing. He saw the water there. So George climbed up. This would be exactly what he needed. Look at him. He said this will do the trick for a sticky monkey. George sat on the bench and he splashed himself with water. But all of a sudden, what's going to happen next? Splash! George was all the way in the water. What a surprise. George climbed up again and splashed back down. He had never been in a dunk tank before, and he had never had so much fun getting clean. So the boy stands behind the line and he gets one of the little balls and he throws it and he tries to hit the target, and if it makes it, like this one did, then George falls into the water. But George was loving it, and everyone was loving it. Everyone was having fun. And the line to play at the dunk tank was getting really long. And it grew longer than even the line that for the pancakes. And then later, this is the mayor. The mayor walked by. And he said, I've heard all about your delicious pancakes. You've made our fundraiser a big success. And I have a special favor to ask you. At the end of the day, George got to present the money from the fundraiser to the president of the hospital. Wow. Thanks to you, George. This has been our best year ever, she said. Will you come back and make pancakes again next year? George nodded and everyone cheered. That's great. Good job, George.